The Proverbs 31 woman is the most talked about woman in the Bible. She was not just a good wife or a good mother, she was a businesswoman, a wealth builder, and also an investor. I'll show you 5 financial lessons we can learn from her and apply in our lives today. Lesson number 1, she knew her numbers. And in Proverbs 31 verses 18, it says, she sees that her trading is profitable. Because she knew that her trading was profitable, she knew exactly what her numbers were. She knew what was coming in. She knew what was going out. And she also knew whether she was making profit or not. And in today's age, sometimes, we're in business and we don't literally know whether we are making money or not. But we're told in Proverbs 31 that this woman, that she knew her numbers very, very well. And this is the first step for any woman that wants to put her finances together. You have to know your numbers, whether you like it or not, because numbers do not lie. And when we know our numbers, we are able to know whether the business that we are taking, whether we are making profit or whether we're not making profit, or whether is this the business to go into. If I go into this business, will I make money or will I not make money? So make sure that you know your numbers, just like the Proverbs 31 woman. Lesson number 2 is that she was an investor. And in Proverbs 31:16, it says, she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She did not just save money, she put her money to work. She considered a field, meaning that she evaluated it. She did her research and then she bought it. And then she planted the vineyard. That means when I see the word vineyard, I'm thinking she invested for a long time, because when we see things like the grapes, where we see the vineyards, we're thinking these are not things that we plant for today and get next week. This is long-term investment. So because vineyard takes years to produce a fruit. And this is showing us that this Proverbs 31 woman, she was not just thinking about today, she was thinking about her future too. So even us as women, we need to not just invest for today, we also need to think about our future. What we are being shown here is that she did not just save. That saving is good, but here it's insisting about investment. So we need to be women that are investing, and we have to consider our investments, not just because we heard that stock A and B is doing so well, a certain group of people are investing in a certain thing, that we have to invest in those things ourselves without doing our research. So make sure, even as you invest in your future, that you are doing your research. Lesson number 3 is that she had multiple streams of income. And in verses 24, so this is Proverbs 31:24, it says, she makes linen garments, sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. So it shows me that here that she had a product where she was making this, she was making the linen. So she had a product and she also had the customers. And look at this, the customers were the merchants, because here it says she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with the sashes. So she was also a supplier. And when I was thinking about this, I'm like, oh my goodness, she could have even been a wholesaler where these merchants are coming to buy these things. We saw in verses 16 where she bought the field, and here she has linen. It's showing me that this woman, she had multiple streams of income. And sometimes as we have maybe one stream of income, and which is good, but then it's showing me that in the Bible, it tells us to invest in 7 or even 8 multiple streams of income, because we never know when disaster may come. So it's showing me that this woman was a wise woman to know that she has the capability of having different multiple streams of income, because she doesn't know what the future holds. If you have a job, what is it that you can maybe do on the side? Be it maybe selling digital products, tutoring. What is it that you're good at? And maybe you can add that as a different income. Lesson number 4, she was not anxious because she was already prepared. And that's in Proverbs 31:21. It says, She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. This woman was not afraid of what was coming at all, because she had already prepared. She has multiple streams of income. She had a vineyard that she had considered. She was already an investor. So she was prepared, and her household, it shows us here that her household was taken care of. So much so that any financial anxiety, she did not have any at all. So, and for me, as a mental health nurse, I see a lot of, even as a person who teaches finances, I see a lot of people with anxiety because, let me tell you, when we are not ready financially, or if we don't have enough money, we've all been there. You know, it's very nerve-wracking because if something breaks down, you keep wondering, what is it that I'm gonna do? If your car breaks down, if there's a medical emergency, how are you gonna cover these things? Or maybe you don't even have anything prepared for the future. So anxiety and money anxiety is real, but we're being shown here, like literally, this woman was not afraid because her household was already taken care of. And it's showing us that preparation is not just theory. We have to prepare practically and put our finances together. How do we prepare for that? Maybe it's building that emergency fund. Maybe it's putting up something small for your saving. Maybe it's starting that investment maybe you have been holding on for a long time. And maybe you're saying, you know what, I am in debt. How do I do this? Maybe it's just starting small and starting where you are. But preparation is key because it reduces the anxiety the finances bring. Lesson number 5 is that she was a giver. And this is in Proverbs 31:20. And it says, she opened her arms to the poor and extend her hands to the needy. Right in the middle of her business activities, she was also taking care of the poor, and she was also giving to the needy, showing us that even for us, when we are building our businesses, if we have to emulate this Proverbs 31 woman, we also have to be good stewards and we have to be good givers. And the lesson here is, how can we be able to give if we are in debt or if we are drowning in all the financial struggles? The reason that she was able to give so generously and take care of the needy is because she had already taken care of her needs. She wasn't worried about her needs because she was already supplied. She wasn't afraid because her household was taken care of, and she was already an investor. So even for us, the lesson here is we need to take care of ourselves first. We also need to, and I'm not saying, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that when we are in need, we cannot give. I'm trying to show you here that for this woman, she had already put her things in order. And because she had put her things in order, giving was nothing for her, and even taking care of the needy. And even for us, when we are financially free, when we have already taken care of all of our things, we can be able to give freely, and we can be able to have our systems working for us. Well, we also have time to take care of the needy, because I don't know whether you caught that part. She was taking care of the poor, but also she was extending her hands to the needy. For me, when I saw that, I maybe associated it with maybe she was a volunteer somewhere. She had taken care of her things so well that she also had time to be able maybe even to volunteer, where she's extending her hand. She was hands-on. And I know the hands also could mean maybe she was giving her money out there, but it also could mean that she was literally extending, being involved with the needy and being able to serve them, like serving them with her hands. We see this woman, lesson number 1 was that she knows her numbers. She was investing in her future. She had built multiple streams of income. She also was not afraid. She didn't have any money anxiety, and she was also a giver. So let me know in the comment, what other lessons have you learned apart from these lessons that I have talked about? What other lessons have you learned yourself about, from the Proverbs 31 woman? Let me know in the comment. And if this video was helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also share this video with somebody who you think might be able to benefit from it, so that she can be an investor and all the things this Proverbs 31 woman was doing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.